Hey guys, we're back again with Conversations with Brown. I'm sitting here enjoying a day with my daughter Abby J, and we got on more of a serious tip when we were talking about enjoying spending alone time. Let me just say alone time. And I noticed that some people have difficulty spending time with themselves. They need like stimulation or need someone to make them happy or someone with them in order for them to be happy. That's something that I suffered with for a long time in my life. I've never spent time alone until now as I'm getting older, and I'm starting to appreciate being by myself. So I wanted to sit with my daughter because sometimes she and we have conversation and we talk about different things. And I want to ask you, how do you feel about spending alone time with yourself?
Well, I just got to a point to where I enjoy spending time by myself.
Okay.
I've always been dependent on other people to make me feel either important or something based on the time that we spend together. But I started to enjoy my own company.
Okay.
And that's something that I just started learning.
Okay. What happens like when before you say that you just started enjoying it? What would happen before when you would be by yourself? What's some things?
I would overthink a lot. I'm an overthinker, so I would sit, I would think, I would sulk. It got to a point to where I would, if I wasn't stimulated by somebody else, I would get into my own head and kind of create scenarios about what was happening when I wasn't around those people. So now that I'm learning to spend my time wisely doing other things, it kind of helps a lot.
What's some of the things you do now to stimulate your time?
I'm a TikToker.
Oh, a TikToker.
I'm a TikToker.
Okay.
I'm a TikToker. I could TikTok all day.
Okay.
I started binge watching shows that I didn't have time for.
Okay.
So just binge watching shows, spending time with MJ, and TikToking.
Okay. What about yourself? What about things that you do for yourself? What's some things that you think you can do for yourself when spending time with yourself? What's some things that you think that you should or you deserve to have for yourself?
Well, since this is new, I'm just starting to pick up on the things that I like to do. Never had a hobby before.
Okay.
So I'm starting to figure out what is something that I like to do. So in that time of spending time with yourself, by yourself, you start to realize what you like, what you enjoy doing, how you enjoy spending your time. So I'm practicing self-care.
Nice.
So with the self-care thing, I make sure that my environment is clean, making sure that I pamper myself if I have the time to pamper myself.
Nice.
I need to start reading and writing, some things that I enjoy doing for the most part. But because it's so new to me, I'm just starting to realize what I like. So I didn't realize that I like my area a certain type of way because I never spent time in my own area.
Nice.
So because I've been spending more time in my area, I'm like, okay, something's not right. That's not right. I need to fix that. I need to do this. And that's because I'm actually spending more time in my personal area.
Very nice. Very nice. What I've learned is, and hopefully this could be a little bit of advice to help you along your journey. What I learned is everything that I do for other people, which is a lot, and people in general, we all tend to be a lot to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that you do for other people is what you should do for yourself. Like, for example, with other people, you give them love, you give them respect, you give them gifts, right? You compliment them. Those same things is what you got to do to yourself. You got to give the same to yourself. Treat yourself like a friend, a person. And I know that sounds weird, but you got to have that relationship with yourself where that you love you, and you got to learn and find out about you so you can fall in love with you.
But that comes with the process of being by yourself.
It does.
I haven't really been by myself much, so I haven't sat down and said, oh, okay, well, how much do I love myself? Or what can I do to improve loving myself? Or do I love myself at all? I never sat down and thought about that because I had MJ at 17 years old. I was always around people. So I never really had the space
alone time
to say, okay, well, I love myself this much to do this.
Right.
I've never sat down and thought about that, but that's because I'm an overthinker.
Okay.
So because I'm an overthinker, my first thought is not myself. my first thought is everybody else around me.
Yep.
And that's a part of me actually enjoying time by myself now.
Nice.
I get to say, you know what? I love myself too much to do this.
Nice.
Or I love myself too much to deal with that.
Absolutely.
And it's just getting to it's a hard process. It's a tough battle, but I guess we're getting somewhere.
It really is. Because if you're a mother, if you're a wife, if you're best friends with someone, if you're an employee, whatever you do, you always have time for other things and other people. But what we need to do is make time for ourselves, which is wonderful. And I'm so glad that now you are getting that. I know it comes at a cost, of you being by yourself. Sometimes it's not our decision to be by ourselves.
Right.
But it's really wonderful when you get that opportunity. So I got that opportunity in the relationship that I am in, where I'm learning to be by myself sometimes. So I have my time, they have their time.
Right.
And now you're learning to have your time. So sometimes things, even though it seems like it's a cost or it's like bad, it's also a blessing in that.
Right.
Okay? So if anybody is going through that you're running away from yourself, you're not like trying to get that opportunity to really learn who you are, take time out and try. Do me a favor, comment, click like, click share, and take care. Remember, put yourself first.
And it's all about you.
Absolutely.